What's up, you guys? American, welcome back to my channel. No, you grow up. We're just gonna jump right into things today, and this is a video that I'd been thinking about for the last couple days. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it or not, but the more and more I just thought about things, the more I almost felt guilty if I didn't make a video on this. So most of you guys that watch my channel regularly know that 99% of everything I talk about is Ninja Turtles related. Everything you see behind me is Turtles related, but the other 60% of this room that you guys can't see is filled with all the other stuff that I love. I always say that Turtles is my number one, X-Men is my number two, and then there's kind of like a big gap, but right after that big gap ends, Power Rangers is probably about right on top of that. I have a whole shelf just dedicated to the Tommy Oliver character, and Tommy Oliver is just synonymous with Jason David Frank. Even in the comic books, I know it's technically not Jason David Frank, it's just another cartoon kid drawn in there, but that is who this character is based off. I don't think there's anyone that wouldn't argue that the Green Ranger and the White Ranger are Jason David Frank. I know he played like the Red Zeo Ranger as well, but I'm pretty much just into the Mighty Morphin era. Those first 3 years were kind of my jam. So Power Rangers isn't just a franchise that I loved as a kid, but it's another one that I've really kind of refound as an adult. So for any of you that don't know, Boom Comics has an ongoing Power Rangers series, and they're over like 100 issues in at this point, and it's one of my favorite modern comics. So like most people my age, around 93, Power Rangers hit the scene, and I got into it just like everybody else did. It was never really that top franchise for me. I kind of went from Turtles to X-Men, but Power Rangers was definitely like a solid second tier franchise for me. It was always one that I was really into, even if it was never my absolute favorite. We all know the show was super campy and stuff like that, but it still was just very fun at the time. Even now you can watch it and kind of laugh along with it. And even though these guys weren't the best actors, as a kid, they still just made the show fun. When the show first started out, I didn't really have like a clear-cut favorite. Like, Jason really wasn't my favorite. I liked the Blue Ranger just as the Ranger, but Billy was a dork, so I really wasn't into him. And Zach was always cool too. I mean, the Black Ranger is definitely one of the sweetest looking ones, but no one really stood out as the front runner male character for me. And then pretty quickly we got hit with this miniseries, and this Dark Horse showed up, and instantly, even before he was a good guy, this guy was my favorite character on the show. He showed up, just whooped Jason's ass, and then he became the Green Ranger, and there is no kid my age that didn't love that Green Ranger the first time they saw him. Not only did he have a little bit more flair, but that gold vest just set him apart so much and just made him stand out so much harder than the other Rangers. That's really like what made me a super diehard fan, is when the Green Ranger hit. Jason David Frank would go on to be one of the most reoccurring characters in the entire Power Rangers series. Even after the Zordon era would end, he would still make reappearances and stuff like that. And he always was just seemed like proud of his Power Rangers roots, even though a lot of people kind of just tried to use it as a stepping stone, and I doubt many of them had much acting success after that. But he always just kind of stuck with it. He's always been there for the fans. He would be at almost every con in the Midwest. Every time I would check a lineup for signings and stuff like that, I would be very shocked if his name wasn't on one of the lists. He would also regularly do signings at a toy store that's about an hour from me that's inside of Indy, and he's done it about 2 times in the last year. And this kind of just brings up one of the points that I wanted to talk about, and it's my own fault for never getting to any of these. You know, every time I thought about going there to get something signed, I just kept being like, well, maybe today might not be the most convenient, he'll be around again, so I'll just get it signed at another time. I definitely took this situation for granted, and now it's definitely come back to bite me in the ass, because now I'll never get to meet the dude. I'll never get to tell him that, you know, he's one of the people that made my childhood awesome. So all these people that are doing these cons and stuff, if you have second guesses about going and meeting them or getting something signed, I say just do it. It's awesome that he was someone that was for the fans. He was always out there. You never hear anything bad about the guy. And another thing you have to respect him for, he was a legit martial artist. He had 2 professional MMA fights and he won both of them. I couldn't imagine being a professional fighter and knowing you're going to fight the Green Ranger and just thinking you're going to fight some schmuck that thinks he knows what he's doing and then getting your ass kicked. There's just so much we can respect Jason David Frank for at the end of the day, and that is the reason why I wanted to make this video. I wanted to pay respect to him, someone who made my childhood awesome, and without people like that, I wouldn't have the feelings that I do today about this stuff. I wouldn't have a room filled full of plastic crap that reminds me of my childhood if it wasn't for people like this. So like I said, I would just feel guilty not doing a video like this, paying my respects to someone that, again, is kind of responsible for the reason that you're hearing me talk right now. It's a shame he couldn't get the help that he needed before, and he's definitely just someone that is going to be missed from the community. That's all I really got for you guys in this one. Take it easy, be safe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.